Should be recording now. Bet. Thanks for the catch. Um, I was thinking our check-in question for today. I don't know if it's like too personal, but I was thinking we could do uh what's your phone wallpaper? So I'll start. My name is Kai, Speaker of the Senate, he, him series, uh pronouns, and my wallpaper is me with the doggy dog licking my face. That's my wallpaper. I'll hand it off to Mati because you're the box below me.
Hi, my name is Mati. She, her, hers pronouns. I'm SG Sander. My phone wallpaper is a picture of my aunt. I lost her last year, so I keep her face as my wallpaper. And I'll pass it on to Reese.
Hello, my name is Reese. I use he, him pronouns. I'm a senator. And my wallpaper is just one of the Apple default ones that changes like to light or dark mode. And I'll pass it off to Wendy.
Hi, I'm Wendy. I use they, them, and she, her pronouns, and I'm the Assistant Speaker of the Senate. My wallpaper is just a nice picture that I got off of Pinterest. Oh, you can't see it because it was there. Well, it's just from Pinterest, and it just makes me feel very calm. I'm gonna call on Z.
I'm Z. I'm a senator, and my wallpaper is just my dog. I'll call on Candace.
Sorry, I was eating cheesecake. I'm Candace Martinez-Doan, Assistant Director for Leadership and Governance. I use she, her, hers pronouns, serve as SJ advisor, and my wallpaper is the castle from Disney World of a picture I took. That's nothing. I know you can't really see it. It's very blue. So yes. I call on Patrick.
Hello, my name is Patrick Reed. I serve as a senator, pronoun he, him, his. I have a picture of all my lifeguard buddies on my phone. And I will call on Wendy.
I already went, but I can call on Mena.
Hi, my name is Menda. My pronouns are she, hers. I'm an SGA senator, and my wall power is this I said wall power, wallpaper. Is this like a nice scenery picture I took? Is anyone left? If you didn't go ahead.
I saw Nail Benet, you rose your hand.
Oh, I think Minna's on her phone. That's why she didn't see any of us raise our hands.
Oops, yeah. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. Hi, my name's Nail Benet. I'm an SGA senator. Pronouns are she, her, hers. And my wallpaper is really just like this boring, like, there it goes. It's like I don't know, it's like a sky, I guess. I really have like a hard time choosing wallpaper, so it's like pretty basic. And I'll call on Julius.
Hello, my name is Julius Gale. My pronouns are he, him, his. As a senator, and my wallpaper is a revolving wallpaper. It changes every time I click it. And I had just did that recently. My previous wallpaper was a cross in the middle between Scorpion and Sub-Zero. And that was supposed to represent just two sides of me and my brother. How do I do that? It was just a setting I saw one day, and like my phone just told me about it. So I said, yeah, just download like 4 or 5 different like topics, animals, dogs, cats, lifestyle, something like that. And now it does that. Mario, you can go.
Hello, my name is Maria. I'm an SGA senator. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm a sophomore, and my phone wallpaper is the Turkish mosque in Maryland. If you've been there, it's really pretty. And I'll call on Victoria.
Hi, my name is Victoria. I am SJ secretary. I use she, hers pronouns, and my wallpaper is just a marble-ish picture I got from Pinterest. And I will pass on to B.
Hi everyone, Beatrice Gutierrez Malagon. I use she, her pronouns, coordinator for leadership and SGA Senate advisor. And my wallpaper is this. It's literally this. It's a leadership poster with Mabel from Gravity Falls, her face just pasted onto an eagle. So there you have it. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen now. Did everyone go already? Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay, I think that's been everyone. My computer keeps freezing, and for like a hot minute, everyone had like 3 icons. So that was interesting. But um, y'all have exciting wallpapers. That's really neat, really neat. Julie, you have to show me how you do that. Let us move on to our land acknowledgement. If my computer wants to cooperate with me. Cool. I think my computer's frozen, but okay. I can make this work. Okay, so our land acknowledgement stating, related to our value of inclusive excellence, we would like to acknowledge that UMBC is built on the native tribal lands of the indigenous Piscataway Conoy tribes. We acknowledge the painful history of forced removal from this territory, honor their history, and cultivate their land. Oh my.
Are you just like reading that from your brain?
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm
good
looking
job.
at a blank screen at the moment, so I'm trying my best.
Geico, 15 minutes.
Oh, Geico. Okay. Well, I'm not entirely sure. Google just became unresponsive to me. I just got the thing. So that's the honor their cultivate. I would like to honor the Piscataway Conoy tribes, even if we are in a virtual setting. Yes, thank you. Wow, that was a train wreck, and I apologize for that. Ooh. Okay, I hope y'all got the chance to look over the meeting minutes. Thank you, Victoria, for doing that. And Wendy, can I pass it off to you while I try to figure out what the heck is going on?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm about to share my
Thank you.
screen. Can everyone see this? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so here are the minutes. Has everyone gotten to review them? And if so, is there a motion on the floor?
Move to approve the agenda.
Okay. Oh, sorry, not the minutes, the agenda.
Second.
Oh shit, what did I just do?
You unshared your screen.
Okay. Sorry, my laptop is also struggling. Okay, so for new business, first we have the Together All update. Let me see if Dr. Herman is on his way. Okay, so I haven't gotten another email from Dr. Herman, so I can skip to the next item on the agenda for now. So let's move on to Senator updates while we're waiting. We can just go in alphabetical order, starting with Julius.
Hello. Okay. So last week I managed to get a meeting with Mr. Hamilton. We had discussed my proposal, and he's down for it. Really excited about it. He just wanted to talk with Mr. Wait, should I keep going now that Mr. Herman's here, or should we wait for the go on to Together All presentation?
We can go back to the Together All part of the presentation.
Just trying to get Victoria in here also, so that's what I'm trying to do right now. The link we had didn't work. I'll try to send it to her, I guess.
Hello, I'm my sorry about all the computer trouble. My computer literally went black. I'm restarting it now. I'm calling on my phone. Yes. Wendy, at what point did we go to?
Dr. Herman's on a call now. He's just trying to get Victoria the meeting link. So Julius began giving an initiative update, but we didn't get very far.
Oh, did we approve the agenda in the meeting minutes?
I think so.
Okay. This is what we call a rough start, but we'll have a fantastic ending.
Wait, no, I think I asked if there was a motion on the floor about the minutes, but we only ended up approving the agenda. So is there another motion?
Move to approve the minutes.
Second.
Cool.
Okay, now we're all set.
General consensus? Yes. Yes. Sorry about all the broken links and technical difficulties. I'm struggling with that myself at the moment, so it can be kind of quite frustrating. But I'm glad to see that you were able to join us today. Has Victoria happened to be in the call?
Not yet.
She still can't get in. I sent her a link and she said it's not, says she needs permission.
Permission.
Can you invite her? Just take her email and go to invite, go to participant and invite and remind. If you type in her email, it should allow her in if someone is in control, is able to do that.
If you're able to make me host, I can do that.
I can, yes.
Do you have her email?
I don't have her email.
Yeah.
Okay, Wendy, I went ahead and made you the host.
Okay, I saw. Dr. Herman, do you mind? Oh, thank you. You're already one step ahead of me. Okay, it says the invitation was sent.
Okay, so hopefully she'll join us shortly. I can start while we're waiting. I hope she'll join us, if that's okay.
Sounds perfect.
So I'm really excited to be here and talk about this. I wanted to give people just a really quick introduction to where things are at the Counseling Center right now and some other services, but just a few minutes. And hopefully by the time I finish this, she will be there. So I'm going to start sharing and okay. So I'm just going to give you a quick introduction of some other resources at the Counseling Center, and then we'll shift it together real quickly. So there's individual counseling, and if I share this presentation with you, it gives you links to all these resources. So that's all remote right now. We plan that there'll probably be a shift in the fall, but we don't know exactly what that's going to look like. We're doing that all remotely, and you have to be in Maryland to receive services, unfortunately. We can do crisis calls and we can help with referrals, but to get ongoing counseling, the state licensure laws require that you be in Maryland. Counseling Center, we have groups that are happening, and we'll have some groups over the summer. Workshops, we have done a fair number of workshops online, but we found that mostly students don't want to be on an online workshop when they've spent all day on Zoom or WebEx. And so we're doing more asynchronous offerings. And if you go to our website, you can get access to those. The folks in health promotions have a lot of mental health and well-being resources in general that are available, and I'll share the links to that. And then we have a suite of online platforms. WellTrack is a online cognitive behavioral therapy for depression and some for anxiety. You can do that on your own. You can access it on the Counseling Center webpage, or you can do it with a counselor and they can actually work through that with you. There's also the Student Health 101 that comes through health promotion. That's general wellness and well-being, including mental health. We have an interactive screening program, which is an anonymous online self-check questionnaire that if you score that you're feeling very depressed or at some risk to hurt yourself or someone else, one of our staff will reach out within 24, 48 hours and check in with you and talk to you about receiving services. There's also Cognito, which is a free online simulated conversation program talking about how to support a friend who might be in distress and struggling, potentially with feeling suicidal. It's about a half hour. It's a really great tool. We have a faculty staff version and a student version that will supports you in helping your friend get help. U Lifeline is a series of assessments that you can do. They're not linked to anything. They just give you a chance to self-assess, and then has access to some resources at UMBC. Make the Connection is a tool for tools for veterans and service members. And then Together All is a 24/7 online peer support community that really goes throughout the world that UMBC is now part of. And so ever since I've been at UMBC, students have been asking about the opportunity to provide peer support for each other. And I'm really excited finally to be able to have a tool that does that in a reasonable, a safe, and effective way. And hopefully Victoria will be online to tell us more details. So let's see what happens there. Has she joined us yet?
It looks like she just joined.
Ah, how's that for timing?
You can only say nice things about me now because I'm here.
Forget about everything I said, everybody.
Sorry,
Victoria's
I don't know what
Victoria's
happened.
our partner from Together All, and I'm glad that you were able to get in. That last link worked.
You did, but yeah, I don't know what was wrong with the first couple, but whatever the last one was good.
Okay. Thank you. You're up. I just did my thing.
Oh, there you go. Okay, great. Well, jumping straight in. Yeah, wanted to thank you for joining. Wanted to give you a bit more context on this Together All offering. And this is a great opportunity because you as student leaders can also register for this platform right now after the call. Check it out yourself. I'll point out a few key features, but there's nothing like sort of jumping in and having a play around with yourself. And then the kind of secondary ask here is once you're familiar and you're happy and hopefully like the tool, is helping us spread the word to other students. So we have lots of marketing materials and all sorts of things that we can share and that are available through the counseling website for download, but really just sort of getting those in the right channels so that ultimately other students, other UMBC students know that this is a new tool available to them. So I'll share my screen and walk you through right at the beginning, sort of what is Together All. And then we'll spend a bit of time on the platform itself. And again, you can follow along if you've already registered or do so after the call, but I'll point out a few things. So Together All, we launched technically 2-ish weeks ago with UMBC. Haven't done a ton of promotion yet, more so this kind of direct outreach to different student groups as well as leaders, campus partners, faculty, staff. We have the website, the counseling website featuring the Together All information up and running, but then working with the marketing team to get more comms out there. So still early stages. But then hopefully you'll start to see more and more about Together All come now, but also a bigger push in fall with the new student intake. This is how we describe what the offering is. It's a moderated online peer-to-peer mental health community that empowers individuals to anonymously seek and provide support 24/7. So it's a place where students can come connect with other peers in a safe, moderated online environment, online community. And it's a place where they can anonymously share their lived experiences with common mental health concerns and just general concerns. Lots of different topics being discussed through this platform, everything from, how COVID has impacted the studies, the year, personal life, relationships, all sorts of things, through to, those that have graduated and others from around our sort of member base that are connecting on different topics that they're struggling with. This offering is free to all students across UMBC, which is great, and it's through a mobile responsive website, togetherall.com. And the way you register is through providing a valid UMBC student email address. So it's not an app, it is a website, but it will work on your mobile phone, so you can access it that way as well. In terms of what students can get out of this platform, the first is this safe online community forum where you can chat with others anonymously and really just share insights and draw strengths from those that maybe have gone through something similar to you or are right in the thick of it like you and have that really lived experience to share. The platform is not only accessible 24/7, it's also active 24/7. So we have a global member base that are actually all contributing to this community forum. So it's not just other UMBC students, it's students from lots of other institutions across the US, Canada, the UK and New Zealand, as well as non-students. So our mandate is 16 years or over. So we have those that have graduated, that may be in the workforce. We have veterans, we have all sorts of different people from all different walks of life. Again, all contributing and bonding over that common experience. So it's less about who they are, where they're based, and more sort of what's going on for them and who else can relate and sort of share that experience. The whole platform is moderated by registered mental health practitioners who we call our wall guides. These are staff of Togetherall. They're from clinical background, social work background, and they're there keeping an eye on those that are using the platform, keeping them safe, making them feel supported, and really creating that inclusive place to have these kinds of discussions. Additional resources available in the platform include mini self-assessments that you can do, self-guided courses that you can enroll in, and just a bunch of other creative tools to help express and track how you're feeling. Key piece here is we're not providing one-on-one counseling or therapy of any kind. This isn't a counseling tool, and nor is it intended to be a crisis service. So there are more appropriate resources for that one-on-one counseling and crisis. This is really that peer-to-peer experience that is moderated by the clinicians just for that safety and risk escalation piece. For who this is sort of best suited to, we're really thinking about those students that, have no current mental illness, no, diagnosed mental illness or anything like that, but maybe just need additional support and direction right now, through to those that maybe have a mild to moderate level of mental illness, but still a lower level of need for intervention. So it's really that broad population that just are maybe feeling generally a bit overwhelmed or stressed, could do with some extra advice, not sure who to turn to, are feeling disconnected or cut off from their peers or cut off from other resources they would typically use or utilize. They're the kinds of groups that are turning to things like this to really connect with others. A little bit more about those wall guides. So they are registered mental health practitioners, licensed and registered in the different jurisdictions in which they're based. So we have, for example, wall guides based in the US, Canada, UK, and New Zealand, all the different places we have contracts and where we operate. And they're, like I said, from backgrounds of clinical counseling or masters in social work. And so they're just providing this eyes on to keep the community safe. So the three roles they're playing, first is that safety, so making sure our members understand how Togetherall works, the parameters of what it sort of provides, keeping an eye out for any behavior or indication that someone might be vulnerable or in need of risk, at risk, and being able to put either additional resources, relevant resources in front of them, or be able to escalate that member to more appropriate resources outside of the Togetherall offerings. So we in the back end also plug into UMBC's existing 24/7 crisis support lines. And so we're able to, through a partnership, we're able to do that sort of in-person wellness check if it's at that sort of far end that we're worried about imminent risk. Doesn't happen too often.
Actually, it's not it's a separate crisis line.
Sorry, clarify. So it's our 24/7 crisis line. You have a different one, but we plug into it in the back end. If that does that complicate things?
I think it's fine.
The point is we have the processes in place. If we are worried about imminent risk, we have the process in place to escalate and support members. Our wall guides are also doing sort of two other pieces, sort of more generally welcoming new members to the platform, thanking them for opening up and sharing about their experiences or their story, promoting self-care and resiliency. And then also playing a bit of an education role in putting other Togetherall resources that might be relevant in front of members, but also signposting your existing UMBC related resources. So things like your counseling center, Cognito, some of the other things that Bruce might have mentioned before I jumped on, those same resources that already exist and are already available to students, we also have built that out in our side so that we're able to say, hey, did you know you have access to XYZ as well? So I'll switch over to the platform. And this should make sense. So I'll start with the Togetherall straight from the beginning. So when you visit togetherall.com, this is lots about the company itself, but this is where you would register for the first time. You'll see here there's a button that says registering as a university or through a college. So this is you guys. You would click on this, and that's going to walk you through the process. So it's prompting you to put in your university email address. That's a two-step verification. And what that will do is then email you a link to continue your account setup. And the whole process takes about 5 minutes. It's very short, but it just means it gives you direct access to the platform, and then you can access Togetherall, which is pretty great. So I have an account, so I'm just going to go straight to the dashboard itself. So when you come back in and log in, part of what you're creating as a new member is an anonymous username and password. And so you can see when you register, this is my anonymous name. No real names, nothing identifying. This is how you're seen within the broader community. Wall guides would also email and sort of welcome you to join the platform. Thank you for joining, outline some of how the platform works and their role, but I could always reach out to them directly and ask questions through this chat down the bottom. 3 main buckets of resources. So this first portion is that place where peers are interacting with other peers. So this is the community forum. You can see lots of different topics that are being discussed here, and they're coming in all the time. This is what I mean by it being active. 3 minutes ago, 6 minutes ago, 7 minutes ago, lots of different pieces around all sorts of different topics. You can filter these threads to find the different topics you might be interested in. And again, you can see lots of different ones that help you sort of really drill down into what's most relevant to you, student experience, stress, working from home, all sorts of different things. And the other way people are contributing to this forum is in 2 formats. So Talk About, which is a written post, and Brick, which is a visual post. And that one's really good for those that maybe are a little bit more creative or gravitate towards expressing themselves as opposed to being able to articulate or write out how they're feeling. So just a couple of different options. As you find threads that you're interested in, you can follow along and you can get notifications when there's been new comments made, and then you would star them and then become part of your starred threads that you're following. So I'll pull up a couple of examples. Again, lots of different topics sort of going on from all sorts of different groups. But if we pick out, this one, for example, obviously this one's a little bit older, but very topical. COVID and universities, 3 months old now, from a user named Loppy, and they've used those category tags as depression and loneliness. And they're saying, universities left them with no friends, their housing situation's up in the air, COVID's turned what was meant to be a good thing into a very long and awful tunnel. Feeling a bit depressed and that loneliness. Tried to maintain positivity, but I keep getting knocked down. I'm not even looking for advice at this point. I just don't know what else to do. Just venting. If anyone else feels the same, you're not alone. So you get a lot of that sentiment too of, who is it just me? Does anyone else feel the same? I'm just venting. I don't know who else to talk to. So it's that idea of, being able to connect with others and try and find those that may have that similar experience. These are our wall guides. So you can see part of their role is thanking that member for sharing about their experience, opening up and sharing it with the community, reflecting some of that sentiment, and encouraging others to weigh in that might be able to relate. So it's not counseling, it's not direct therapy, it's just helping to facilitate the discussion. And then you get people sort of weighing in. You're like, I'm in my 4th year and I've lost all motivation. I'm in my 2nd year. This is what's going on for me. Just a really simple example of just, that's my situation too. And there's something about that too, of just being able to see your own experience reflected in someone else's words or sentiments that's really therapeutic in itself. Just kind of say, I didn't know that I was feeling like that, but now that I read it, that's me. And then you sort of get people weighing in. Another example, and we get sort of graduate students, we get all sorts of different students and other people using this. This is someone that's used a brick. And this one's a little bit darker, and you can see already the way they're describing what's going on for them is a little bit darker. And then the caption that they've added is raising some red flags. So they're saying, I'm trying to be positive, but they're overcome with feelings of loneliness. They had a conversation, they just burst into tears. Everyone else around them's doing so well, and they're happy for them, but they can't see their future in bright colors anymore. I'm afraid I'll end up in that mental frustration black hole forever. Today they thought about self-harming, but they don't want to go there, not again. So you can see the sentiment's very different to that sort of first one that's a bit more of a general vent. And so our response is different as well. So again, you have a wall guide thanking them for opening up, sort of, really normalizing it's okay to talk about these things. But then this piece, because of some of that sentiment, they're saying, hey, we're going to reach out to you directly to offer you some additional support and know that we're listening, we're looking out for you. So because of some of this language that they're using, that would have been flagged to a wall guide to not only review this post, but review this member, maybe what else they've posted or some of the other pieces that they've accessed, just to build up a bit of a picture of what's going on. And they would reach out and try and provide some additional support and signpost other resources and things like that. Great to see, though, you still see other people weighing in and really offering that advice of how to break out of that idea of, you're stuck in a bit of a mental black hole. How do you break that chain? You get the original poster, which I think is really positive, interacting with these members and saying what they've tried and what haven't tried and joking around and giving some really practical advice about what might help. And again, you get this person sort of really weighing in, which is really, it's really nice to see. People are still bonding over some of those pieces and thanking them for being able to help, which is really nice. So just a couple of examples there. Again, lots of different topics, and this is why I encourage you to register yourself, because it truly is fascinating sort of going in and just seeing what people are saying, finding things you can relate to, maybe offering your own perspective, or just having a read through some of these. That's the community forum, and just quickly, these other buckets. So these are our self-help modular-based courses that you can do in your own time. Lots of different topics here. These are sort of modular based, so they have little homework activities, links to other resources, just other tools sort of embedded. And they all have a course talk about. And what that is you can choose to join a group discussion around that particular topic, and you're connecting with others that have done that course or are doing that course, and you can share other tips and tricks. If you're doing the Improve Your Sleep, for example, maybe you found a great free app that's really helped you, or a podcast that you listen to, or something like that. You could recommend that to others and sort of share tips and tricks. Wall guides still see everything for safety and moderate things if they need to, but just a different way to connect with people and find different resources that might help you. And then the resource section, this has a couple of like an online journaling tool, an online goal setting tool that is also embedded in a lot of those courses as sort of homework activities. These are mini clinically validated self-assessments that you could do. Not meant to be diagnostic, but really just short check-ins to see where you sort of sit on some of these scales, and recommend a few different things that might help you. And then the last bucket here is our sort of hub of other resources. So these are articles, book reviews, podcast reviews, all sorts of different things. Still categorized by those same category tags, so you can really drill down into what you're most interested in and kind of cut through the noise. But this is also where, if you register as a UMBC student, your existing resources would also be flagged. So the Counselling Centre, for example, would have a tile here, Cognito suite of resources, things like that that you already have access to as a student. We'd also put these here so that it's all in one easy place if you're looking for resources. So they're the three buckets, very easy to use, very sort of intuitive, that's by design. You've got your house rules, privacy terms, all of that good stuff sort of embedded down the bottom, and your account settings at the top there, and search button that you can look through as well. So I'll stop sharing. And I know that was very quick, but just any initial impressions or questions? What do you guys think of this new tool?
Yeah, I think this is really interesting, and I can't wait to see this be implemented within our community, because I think that's something that's needed at the moment, where you're experiencing like burnout and like Zoom fatigue over online classes and jobs, so it can be really overwhelming. So I think this is a great tool to have, especially in today's world.
Thanks, Kai. No, I appreciate that. And it's such a good point. Is sometimes it doesn't have to be sort of doom and gloom and dark kind of scary topics. It could be exactly that. I'm just lacking motivation and I'm struggling to study, or yeah, Zoom fatigue is everyone's battling with that. So it's just, tips and tricks of how to stay motivated in an online environment. You see a lot of those discussions. So it's more general. It's all sorts of different things that people are talking about. It's whatever's relevant to them.
I also want to just be clear that it is available now, right? So it's rolled out as of 2 weeks ago. So this is not something we're looking to roll out. This is something that is very much live, and we're looking for you to promote it, share it with all your friends, help make it be as successful as possible at UMBC. So this is not a proposal at this point. We've talked to you about that early on. This is out. This is at UMBC. Students are using it. People have been using it for about 2 weeks now.
Yeah, I think we have 20 students so far registered.
About 20 students using it so far.
Yeah, so we're doing lots of things, and on the counselling side as well, there's a link to Together All, so it has all the information. A lot of what I just sort of shared of what is Together All linked there, and the links to how to register, little videos, all sorts of things you can check out, and marketing materials you can use.
I put that link is in the chat right now, so if you click on that, that will take you both how to register, but would also give you resources for sharing this out with your friends and organizations or everybody. So if you have everyone get a chance to take a look at that, that'll give you resources for helping share this.
And you guys know best, you know, you as students yourselves, you know what channels or what are students paying attention, particularly because there's so much information being shared online now. We want to make sure that where we're promoting makes sense and that students actually see it. So, you know, if you have your own social media channel that you know you have lots of students following, like we would love you to, you know, use some of this as inspiration and just let students know, hey, did you know this is available? Check it out. You know, just simple things like that, that the more we can spread the word and the more, you know, some students will jump on that side and will only use the forum and the posting, and that's great. Some might not use that, but they might use those self-help courses. That's what they're looking for. Great. You know, pick and choose what works for you. There's trying to be something in there for everyone. And not only first years, you know, some of the third years, fourth years, everyone is dealing with lots of things right now. So sharing it broadly would be really, really helpful.
So far, it looks like grad students are the biggest users at the moment.
Any other questions or feedback? Again, you know, do you see this as something that you think other students would use? You can say no, and it's great to hear the feedback as well. We want to hear it all. You tired and burnt out yourself, perhaps? It's been a long day.
So I watched this presentation like about an hour ago in Folio. So nice hearing it again. But one thing I really liked was
I'm
that like
sorry.
no, it's okay. Was that
You
it
poor
has like
thing.
something for everyone. And so like even if you wouldn't necessarily post on the forum yourself, I like that they have like things that you can do that don't involve like supporting other people or getting support from others if you're just really burnt out.
Is this mobile friendly?
Yeah, so it's still a website, but if you went togetherall.com on your mobile, it'll configure so that you can use it on your mobile. Yeah. It's mobile forward design is I think how they describe it, but it's not an app.
Great question. While we're thinking about it, can I share one other link that's sort of somewhat unrelated? And we're getting ready to move into a new building for health and counseling and health promotion. And yeah, really excited. And so we're thinking about new names for the department because we're going to be like in one space together. And so I have a little survey that if any of you want to help us think about our new name for the department, please take the survey. I'll share it in the chat. Is that okay? Can I do that? Great. Give you a chance to think about questions for Together All while we're here. But any other things you want to know about either health or counseling or about Together All? While we're here.
Looks like we have a question in the chat. Is there a way to spread this to different orgs or through comms? Yeah, so again, there's lots of some of the materials that we have are saved on that counseling website that you can download. If you have something else in mind and for whatever reason those materials don't quite fit the bill, let us know because we're more than happy to see if we already have something else that we can provide you with, or you know, particularly some of this social content. You know, we have graphics that you could use and some suggested content, but we also want it coming from you. So, you know, the key things to remember are just sort of what is it? So it's a peer-to-peer community. It's a safe place online. It's anonymous, it's free, and it's available 24/7. If you kind of keep those elements in there, the rest is, you know, how you would describe it to someone else if you were trying to, you know, tell them about it. So creative license to you as well.
So if you go to that link that I shared, the counselingcenter.umbc.edu/resources/togetherall, that will give you links to a description of Togetherall, a video, and then a folder that has information to share and even some social media content and All of that is right on that link. Does everyone see the link I'm talking about? Yeah. If
So
you
it could
go
even be
there,
sharing that link with others
please
too. Could
share
be
with
a good
everybody.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the way I like to describe it too is, yes, it's anonymous, and yes, it's sort of more than just UMBC students, but the more students that we have join from UMBC, the more likely there are that, similar voices, similar concerns will be on there. So like if you're all going, your academic year might be different to someone else's, but you're all going through something right now, and you'll see that reflected in the sentiment. People find each other based on what's going on for them. So the more UMBC voices we can add, the better, because that's going to make it a place where other people see, oh yeah, that's me, like that's what I'm going through, or so and unlike other resources, as they kind of get bigger, they might get stretched thinner. We get stronger because again, it just brings different perspectives into the mix and means that there's a new perspective, new insights, new lived experience that someone somewhere is likely to be able to relate to.
I had a question. So I know we talked a lot about wall guides and clinicians who are monitoring the site, but I was wondering, like, will they be able to catch everything that's on there in case like something could be like sensitive or triggering for other viewers?
Great
And
question.
how is that like screened out?
Yeah. So lots of different things that they do. Part of it, it's the technology that helps, right? So that's why we're able to do it on scale. The wall guides don't have to, read every single post. That would be a lot of work, obviously. We've seen how much comes in, but the technology is what, for the triggers, is what's picking up on some of that language. So, suicide, cutting, self-harm, and again, we've been operating since 2007. So that sort of algorithms that we've built up over the years are very robust. So that picks up things to flag to wall guides. The other thing as well is just like you say, if they do come across something, they sort of pull it temporarily, and you'll see it's kind of like a thread would be grayed out and it would say something like under review, because we want to help that member, but we also, to your point, don't want it to be triggering to someone else if it's using certain language and things. And it's not just risk, it can be, something that might be offensive to someone else, or it could be something that's really slanted towards a very specific perspective or idea that's not the idea of having this broad inclusive piece. So that stuff also gets picked up. Something I should have showed you as well is on that community portion where you could star something that you want to follow, there's a little button next to that you could also report something. So as a regular member, so you click on that button, it's got three options. One is, I'm worried about this person based on kind of the things that you're reading. You want to triple check that this person's on the wall guide's radar. A second one is, there's something about this that I find offensive. Personally, maybe they're using language or their perspective or something is just really jarring that goes beyond what you think, this is meant to be. You could report that. And there's sort of an other bucket. There's, something about this post is all the comments below it and things like there's something going on here that you're not okay with. Beyond that, you're not involved, but you're just flagging it to a wall guide. Chances are it's already on their radar because it's getting picked up in different ways, but it gives you that peace of mind to say, oh, I've read this and I'm worried about this person based on what they're saying. So we kind of have the whole community plays a role in keeping each other safe and on topic as well.
Another big piece they play that you've talked about a lot, Victoria, is that it keeps it anonymous, right? So Wendy, if you decided to get on and say, this is Wendy from UMBC, right? The wall guides would intervene. They pull out any identifying information, say, we can keep your post, but we can't share that identifying information. Thanks so much, or something like. Is that right, Victoria?
Exactly. Yeah. So they play that role. So it's a bit of an, initially it might be just an accident. They're getting used to the site, and so they're doing that. And even other identifiable information. So maybe that you're not revealing about yourself, but you're speaking about a relationship-based issue, and you're using that person's name. So that would also be tagged, flagged and pulled out. So you'll see all of those posts are talking more in general terms of, I'm going through this with my partner, or, so they've replaced the word Brad with partner or something, So again, to keep it that high level, so it's not too, revealing in an online environment. So there's lots of things that kind of are happening. It's one of those things where you don't see a lot of the work because it's behind the scenes, but it's working because you don't see these things happening. So there's lots going on. But yeah, they're playing lots of different roles. And again, the technology kind of helps us here.
I have like two questions, but one first
Yeah.
is like you said that once you like report something, the person is no longer involved. So like, will the moderators update you on a status of something? Like, will they like? Because I think that there's almost no incentive because sometimes you don't feel like you're being heard. Like I was in a panel one time and we were talking about how even just like Instagram will tell you like, oh, thank you for reporting. We have taken this post down, and like we have reached out to this person just in case like you have like some peace of mind afterwards. Obviously, sometimes that cannot be done for whatever reasons, but I think that sometimes you just won't feel like you're being heard by the moderator because you just will not see the tangible results.
Yeah, that's a really good question. And I'm trying to remember if I've actually done it myself. And I did, and I can't remember if it did have a pop-up that said, thank me, like, because I'm pretty sure I came across something that was already on their radar, but I was like, yeah, I'm worried about this person. And I did it myself and sort of just flagged it. I think something comes up to say thank you for, keeping eyes on and I think it says something like thank you for helping to keep the community safe. So it's a bit of a pop-up, but it wouldn't loop back to you to kind of say, hey, yeah, we reached out to that person and everything's okay. There would be kind of no loop back piece. But it's such a good point. There's a fine line. I think they do a lot of research too on, you'll notice things like, the post, there's no like buttons and things like you would have with someone, because it's a slippery slope because it can actually create negative behavior because then, people are looking for likes as opposed to, there's a whole lots of theory around the community portion of this itself, but then the clinical rigor of it is kind of what evens that out. So it's that mix between having a vibrant online community forum, but not going down the path of it becoming something like a Reddit or a Facebook, because then you start opening all sorts of other cans that we actually want to avoid deliberately. So lots of different things. But great question.
And I just have like a kind of unrelated question. Just I think again the feature, like, do you allow people to block certain words, like to filter out so they just don't see certain types of content?
Not so much words, but by those same categories, you can use it in reverse, right? You could tick everything you want to see and leave out things, because exactly that. I had a scenario, or someone sort of brought up the case where maybe someone has recently recovered from an eating disorder, for example, and doesn't want to see anything related to that because it's too soon or it might be triggering. So you could tick everything else but that and just say, nope, I'm not ready to see that. And you can carry through that same tag in the courses, the articles, the everything, just to almost really filter the whole site to do that. So that's how you could do it. I'm not sure that it's 100% foolproof, but at least cuts down your risk of seeing some of that triggering piece. But yeah, because I think as well, when people are looking for help, and particularly specific help, being able to cut through the noise to get to what they want quickly, I think is really important too. So being able to filter down, so I don't want to see everything, I want to see just this information in a timely manner, that is also really helpful from what we hear. But yeah, I do encourage you to check it out yourself. I honestly go in there every few days just to have a read and see and it's truly fascinating. And you'll see, some people, again, I think it was to Wendy's point, may never share their own experience, but may comment on others. Or, that's how they give back, is that's actually therapeutic to them to be able to say, yeah, I went through that 3 years ago and this is how it turned out. Or like, yeah, I'm in my second year, first year, this sucks, but keep going, it'll get better, that perspective. So check it out, see what you think. If you, after trying it, like you want to send through any additional feedback, we would love that. We're always looking for that. So send that through, to, I'm sure, Bruce, or, through to the team generally. We want to hear what you think, or if you have other ideas of where to promote, or if you have other, student groups that you want us to come and promote to, more than happy to do that.
This is just something I was curious about, but do you know if, like, more people have started using Together All because of COVID, just because I know I'm like personally like a lot worse at staying up to date with social media or anything online. Since everything's now online, I was wondering if there were like any different trends.
Great question. You're the best. Great question. Yes, it definitely. So you'll see our spikes in general registration, again, considering we're across US, Canada, New Zealand, and the UK, the spikes have almost directly followed the waves in COVID. So when COVID, first kind of happened, and then we had that big first wave back in, March or whatever of last year, we had something like I think it was a 216% increase in our general membership across the board. And then again, we had an even bigger increase on that second wave because it hit Canada a little bit later, for example, and so we kind of saw another spike there. And yeah, so absolutely. And I think it's not necessarily, yes, COVID, but it's also that idea of, people cut off from their existing resources or looking for ways to stay connected that isn't Facebook, that isn't, these other ways. It's also tricky because we are coming up against online fatigue. And then we're also saying, hey, but stay online and use this online tool. But the way we sort of position it is this is something that isn't taking away from your time. This is something that you're investing time into that's going to help you and help your well-being generally. Spending, if you spent the same amount on Facebook that you spent on something like this we know is actually giving back and helping, as opposed to Facebook, might truly be a bit of a procrastination and might actually make you feel worse at the end of it, seeing all the other stuff in the news and everything. So if you're going to invest your time online, I'm biased, but this is a better forum to be investing in than Facebook, but everything in moderation.
Thank you so much for answering. That sounds great. I know I spend a lot of time on like TikTok, which I usually don't enjoy afterwards, so this seems a lot more rewarding after.
That's it. It's just there's something to be said about distraction. That's helpful in some regards and just a bit of a light relief. But I think as well, if you're in that headspace where you are struggling, then sometimes a Facebook isn't the place. It's just going to be more draining and more depressing. And something like this might be the pick me up, or might be something that you energizes you to see, okay, it's not just me, I can get through this.
So as you get a chance to try this out, please feel free to send us feedback, send me feedback. And if you have ideas about other places to get the word out, please either just go ahead and do it or let me know, and I'll be glad to help, support you in getting the word out.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna sign up personally. And if possible, if you could send us any graphics that's already made, can try and put that out on our social media, because our communications department's a little backed up at the moment, so creating something from scratch might be a little hard to do at the moment. So
I'm gonna repost again. This link has all those things right there.
oh, wonderful, thank you.
So if you go to that link, it has examples of social media, graphics, suggested ways to promote it.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Wonderful. Perfect. Thank you. I'll definitely reach out to our team to do that.
And Bruce, I just noticed one thing, we actually don't have social media as part of that download by the looks, but we can rectify that.
We'll fix that.
Yeah, and check back in, but absolutely, definitely graphics and some suggested blurbs to give you sort of some ideas of what to share, and then even with the graphics, really, if you have graphics that you are approved by the university and you want to use, you can use those too. All we ask is that the image matches kind of what we're offering. So, it's a online site, so it's not someone, you know, talking into their phone or texting into their phone. You know, it's not a counseling service, so not a photo of someone lying, you know, doing one-on-one therapy. Like, it's more of an online module or something, you know. Keep it congruent with what the offering is, but you know, you don't have to stick to the Together All offerings as well. Or the easier one is even just to share that video as sort of the piece, if you can share that. Or but we'll update that site and maybe stick some graphics and things in there, and then it give you a bit of a sense of what to do. Okay, thank you so much for letting us join, and sorry for the confusion up front.
Oh, I apologize for the confusion. I think link's been broken. The technology's been difficult, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks so much, guys. And
Absolutely.
take
Thank you
care.
so much, everybody.
Thank you for
Take
coming.
care.
Bye.
Okay. Yes, that was Together All. And Z, I know you're going to be working more closely with this for the remainder of your initiative days. Cool. Yes. Yeah, sorry again about the technical difficulties. I ran across and stole my mother's computer, so that is currently what I'm using at the moment. And so far it's working well. Uh-huh. That's Together All. Okay. Let's move on to initiative updates. Julius, do you mind starting us off?
Yeah, sure. Okay. So I met with Mr. James Hamilton, head academic advisor of CAS, to discuss my proposal and such a collaboration, and he's down for it. The only thing is he just wants to meet with BCU, BSA, the Business Student Ambassador program, which I got the inspiration for this initiative from, just to iron out more details of things that I couldn't answer whatsoever, because that's not in our role, more like on the financial side of things and stuff like that. Things that I haven't really gotten to yet, and that can't really be outlined in the proposal. So we're working on trying to have a meeting. I emailed them today. I should be getting a response sometime this week, and we'll figure out things with that. On the other hand, I also was able to I'm going to have a meeting with Miss Amanda Sharp this week as well to talk about academic advocacy, discuss the proposal with her as well, and whatever she is doing with her program in the fall. So that's really what I got done this week. So things are progressing, and I'm excited. If things go well and the meetings happen in a timely manner, we should be able to present this to the dean of CAS before the semester is over.
Cool. Thanks, Julius. Mati.
Yeah, so first thing first, I know last time we were how I was working with the marketing department to create a graphics for the translock. Well, they were able to put it up on Saturday using the UMPC SGA. So they have like a short video showing how the translock app works, so the students can basically kind of know how to use the translock app when they use it. So that's really cool. Um, on Friday, I spoke with Mr. Teague at first, and he said transit, they're actually working on creating like a new transit website, because like the old website has an issue. So a whole new website where it'll be easier for students to like view the shuttle schedules and basically see the map, the various bus routes and where they are, and kind of have like a clear view of where the bus routes run and the places that are around there. And he says that they've been working with Common Vision for the new website, which is really good. He kind of showed me like a bit of the changes, how it is like the old versus the new, and there's really a lot of improvement that's going on there. So hopefully by fall, when students like want to use the website to check up what's going on with transit, there'll be a lot more improvement there. They can get a lot more information from that. And he says that he wants to make the map with the routes like more detailed, like highlighting the key areas in um around abuse and around those transit stuff. And he says that he might reach out to Reese for that, working the market. It goes like Reese is an IT guy, so you might be hearing from Mr. Teague soon. And one thing I want to do is like the transit website actually has the link to the app store where you can download the Transdoc app. So I was hoping to work in marketing departments to like create a QR code where when students they can follow the code to go to the app store, like a code for Android or code for Apple, where they can follow the QR code to them straight to the Transdoc app on the App Store so they can download it, which will be easier, faster for them. And so we can have that QR code on the transit website and on the flyers that we are advertising for transit. And they said that so they have done some improvement with the shuttles where basically when students swipe in like their student ID, it can actually help keep track of how often they ride the shuttles and which routes they take. It kind of sounds weird, but actually they say it would be helpful to like kind of know the population of students who ride the shuttle and those who don't, so they can actually reach out to the students who like live in areas where like the shuttles pass by and and let them know how like transit can help them like shorten their commute to school by just taking a shuttle near them, and also do a population density so they can see the areas where like incoming students or current students will have a lot more transit students, so they can either extend bus routes to that area or like let students know if like there's a shuttle stop that's like around like 10 to 30 minutes away from where they live, or add a route in that area, just trying to make commute easier. And he said that they want to partner with like MTA, but like MTA has like this kind of like a system that keeps track of the routes that they take, and so they want to see how they can adapt that to transit, because right now the transit schedule is so confusing for students to read. Like students are confused with that. And he said one thing is that pre-COVID, the transit website was like one of the most heavily hit websites amongst the UMBC websites. And so given that students were coming back, it's more likely that that website as well will also be heavily hit. So they really need to like fill it up with more information and also like link up their IG account, student account, and basically like get as much information as they can to students. And they're thinking of having a poll or like an FAQ to students, like asking them questions like what changes they want to see in transit and so on, because a lot of the changes that they want to make, they need admin to believe that these are things that students want. That's not just what transit wants, because like the problem is like getting admin to approve. So if you can actually get students' voices on this part on what needs to be done, then we are more likely to like persuade transit to get ahead on this initiative. And also we'll think of comparing like the population density for this spring and next fall to kind of have like a good overview of like overall which areas are have a high density of UMBC students. And then I also met with Mr. T about the buses, and he was talking about how they're trying to like change the buses to be electrical buses, but that's more like a long-term thing. And he was talking about how like there are various costs for like changing the buses, because like the old buses cannot be they are retrofitted to be electrical buses, so like they have to completely get rid of that. And also so right now like so right now the transit system have 7 routes, and it's around like 1,000 a year just to run each route. And so one of the issues is like trying to convince admin on how to add these new changes with the budget that transit already has. Given that those are the new carding system I was talking about, I spoke with Mr. T. He said like the new carding system is about like $40 just to get that in, like having the students track how many students like are riding the bus and get the information out to them. So there's a lot of that. And then we're talking about connecting UMBC to other universities as well, like how we're talking about with Shady Grove. He talked about how College Park actually services Shady Grove, like they have their buses going to Shady Grove, and so I was thinking of how to like also partner with College Park. That way we can have students like coming from College Park to UMC to take classes, creating connection between the universities. And it's like the downtown route is one of the most expensive routes. It's like $2,025 just to run a year. And then like we don't have many students. No, they haven't partnered with College Park and Shady Grove already. That's what's happening with Maria to work with partnering with Shady Grove. That's the stuff. But so we're working on that. So yeah, so like the downtown road is the most expensive, but then it's the least used. And the problem is that that area is also called like you have the Baltimore College Network where you have like buses which service like the 5 colleges in downtown. And basically UMBC is a partner by name, but we don't really like service those colleges downtown. And so we're thinking about how like to use that bus going downtown to actually service those colleges downtown as well, because like it will build connection with UMBC and those universities as well, and it's going to be helpful backing. I was thinking about how we can also we can also work with Howard County Community College and get funding, because like transit is not public, it's private, so the funding basically support comes from the students, and so we need to get like outside funding. And so that's why I said one of the main thing is having student input. If we can get like student voices on what they want done in transit, the more students like speak up about what they want done in transit, the more admin is going to like act on it, because they won't do any changes thinking that it's just what transit wants to do. So if you're able to like get more than input, we'll be able to get more funds to do that. And then the next thing was actually trying to like promote transit, like get information about transit to students. We're thinking of either doing something like a scavenger hunt, like having a scavenger hunt like around Arbutus, basically, with students to go on the buses and they kind of like go on a scavenger hunt around the UMC community. So that way, like they get familiar with the routes and with the places in Arbutus. The second thing was basically like having a video on the transit, showing them how to use like the Translog app, or like how the shuttles are, or how the routes are, or creating something like a transit buddy system where you have like either juniors or seniors took like the shuttles pre-COVID, or resident students on campus who can show like new students coming in the fall, or like incoming students who are coming, like who spent their first year or like a year and a half online, so they didn't really get to use the transit, kind of like be a transit, but like showing them how to like use the transit system and so on. Like how we have like OPA special students around schools, like but instead for transit. And then I know he said one thing was we were using the bulletin boards on the buses to advertise stuff, like either advertise school events or like events around transit. Just that way, like at least students can be up to date with what's happening in school through the buses, and if there are any like changes in bus schedules and whatnot. He talked about how with connecting with Shady Grove, like how we can basically like ask like give out information to students about like what Shady Group has to offer. So like basically before each semester, kind of like show students like the courses, the class schedules at Shady Group, so students can kind of like compare with the schedule of the shuttles. Like, okay, I can maybe take this class at Shady Group because the bus goes back and forth. Because he did say like it's kind of like high traffic going to and from Shady Group. So if they know the schedule of classes beforehand and know like what time the buses go to Shady Group, they can easily pick their classes, and also like tell them like what credit hours are offered at Shady Group, and think about like having ways like events like to link the main campus and Shady Grove, kind of like build a bridge connecting the two campuses, because they're basically UMBC but two parts of it. So just basically trying to like connect both campuses together is one of the main things. And I know the last thing he talked about was like how transit can actually help students with like part-time jobs, because he said one thing is like the Columbia Mall actually has a lot of like part-time job offers for students, and if the transit could actually like help students who were looking for part-time jobs to take them to the Columbia Mall. They can actually help students get more jobs, and that can also like create like a partnership with UMBC and not Columbia Mall. Maybe you could get like student discounts going to like Columbia Mall. It can build a lot of relationships in the future, and also how like I think he said there's a new brewery around, so also help students like to get jobs around the Arbutus community, community, just basically strengthening UMBC and Kittensville by transit. So yeah, that's it.
Snaps. Dang, Maki, you went off, but in a good way. That's there's so many things. One, I'm excited to hear that there's like a partnership going to be happening with Shady Grove and College Park. More so with Shady Grove because I know that when registering for classes, I know that's like one of the main like the first three choices is it online, in person. Is it going to be UMBC campus or Shady Grove? So very large connection there. The chat, I don't know if you've been keeping up with the chat, but there's been some questions in the chat.
Let me go to the questions.
Candace was asking, oh, I lost it. Is there a chart where the costs are listed?
Like the transit cost?
Well, like the cost per line, like so you were quoting some numbers.
Okay. Okay, so he did send me like a PowerPoint slide with like their estimated cost like 2017, and he was telling the ones for this year. I can send the link of like of their costs in the past if you want to take a look at that.
Yeah, and then were those costs you were quoting per year or per day?
So like they were actually per year.
Okay, so my follow-up is, so you were saying some numbers like 2,000 or 1,000, which I think might be a misquote of the numbers. Because they have a multi-million-dollar budget. So I'm wondering if those are like 200,000 or, and that they're, the way that they're listing them in the presentation is sometimes when they list things like transit or athletics or even campus life, when they're doing their budget presentations, they'll drop some zeros from the end and it looks like 2,000, but it's like 2 million. So that's why I was asking if you had the sheet so we could look at it, just so that for the like, because $2,000 to run a bus for a year is a pittance. So I would be, yeah, I would be more inclined to think that it's like $2 million to run the bus for the year. Yeah.
So I can reach out to Mr. Riker and ask him like for more details and kind of send it to you.
I was just asking for the group. I don't necessarily care, but I just wanted to make sure the group was receiving those correct numbers, because $2 million to run a bus for a year is a lot of money. $2,000 to run a bus for a year. I mean, like I could run a bus for a year. Like, let's do it. So that's what I think that's my. And Mena commented in the chat too. Like that's what I think is that sometimes when they do those budget presentations or they do those budget slides, they don't clearly mark that they are truncating the numbers. Yeah. So if you had it, you could send it to the group. Is my recommendation.
Okay. And I think somebody asked about the Columbia Mall. Yeah, I think it says like they don't really have like buses going like to and from Columbia Mall, or maybe like they want to strengthen that because it will help a lot more students. But I didn't miss any more questions.
Yeah, the mod. Also, just another quick shout out for you. I really, really love the graphic that you were collaborating with the comms department with. Came out excellent, and
Please repost, guys. It's
yeah,
on UMBC SGA. Like repost so people can see it. That way, more people can know about like the transit. Because I don't know how to. I can't repost the video, so the video is on like the SGA stuff. Like it has like a short clip on how to log on to the translog and search the various stops at UMBC. So
yeah. I've had a couple people actually reach out to me personally on through my Instagram, and they loved that even this existed. And I was like, this is all because of Monty, and they're like, oh, well, shout out to Monty. So, yes. Ah, um, but yeah. Any closing remarks from anybody else about Monty's initiative? Amazing. Seconded. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Monty, again. Reese, do you mind sharing us your update?
Yeah, sure. So, under the guidance of you all last week, I was able to add meta suggestion for the STEM GPA for pre-meds. Then I was also able to add like GPA alerts for merit scholars and also Latin honors for those who are graduating soon. And so that is all live, and that basically kind of wraps up my vision of the GPA calculator as it stands right now. I mean, there could be more ways to improve it, but as it stands right now, it is a fully functioning product. So if people want to use it, people want to tell each other how to use it, greatly appreciate some real users. And inclusion courtyard is going all right. We're waiting on some people in the art department to see if we can try to bring them onto our initiative to talk about how we're going to select artwork. And yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I'll send the URL in the chat. Yo, he died. You're here. What's up? But also, yeah, if you have any suggestions about I'm still open to suggestions. Like I said, felt like it's done, but of course it's not. It's never done. So if anyone has any stuff, any ideas, I know it's a lot to look at first, but I think I try to make it as intuitive as possible.
How's your workshop planning so far?
Great question, great question. Wendy and I met with B last week, and we're also going to meet with B again this week. We're starting to kind of nail down our curriculum, and we hope to have the curriculum in such a state where it could be distributed to other organizations like maybe CDCL or I3B or something else, but also we'd want it to be able to tee up other leaderships as well. So it could be, it's like a seed, and then also it would allow people to set people on a path to, so like ours is about thinking about how to change things, and then the leadership would be how to actually implement those changes that we think of.
Cool. You did a very good job with the GPA calculator. It looks amazing, and Wangoi and I were playing with it yesterday. So it was beautiful. Oh, chef's kiss. I'll be reaching back with you one-on-one later on about the workshop, but good job. Great job. Wonderful job. Perfection. Maria.
Hello. So I don't have too many updates for this week. I'd say everything that I've been working on is just continuing to be worked on. But something that this week I especially want to focus a little bit more on is I want to circle back to the CS professors that I had originally reached out to like 2 weeks ago. They told me to contact them again after advising died down. So I think now is the right time to contact them again and set up a meeting about transitioning transfer students into like just the general curriculum here. Although I do want to start off with CS since I think that's like where I'm most familiar. And I hope to have more initiative updates for that part in particular, but everything else is pretty steady and it's going pretty well.
That's good to hear. Also, quick shout out to Mario for uh, helping me and Julius and Wendy with the free menstrual products this past Wednesday. You're amazing, always amazing. Mena.
So for my updates, basically we've had to like recall the compost initiative for this semester just because there wasn't enough time and we weren't able to get everything sorted out. It was just some last minute budget details that's like besides we were already late to be honest, but we weren't able to order them in time for that because I only had a week basically to order them and we weren't able to do that. So because of that, we had to recall the compost initiatives. So I've been working with Kayla to because we decided this last Thursday, I think, and basically now I kind of have to like work with her to like basically make it so that like next semester we start off strong right from the beginning, and to like work with everyone that I'm in contact with so that like updating everyone and like all of that. That's basically all the steps to canceling this for the semester. I'm a little bummed out about that, but honestly, I also think this is like for the better because I do not think we were gonna have a great success this semester just because of how short term it was, and it was honestly really hard to communicate with RSA quickly enough to like get this promoted for students. But I feel like next semester with everyone coming back, I feel like we'll have a much greater this basically we can really start this compost program really strongly. Besides that, oh, I do have some committee updates, but I'll do that when it's that time. But that's basically what I've been doing this week.
Yeah, sorry you had to postpone your initiative, but I don't want to speak for whoever becomes the summer speaker, but technically speaking, you could have an emergency meeting in the summer and pass some legislation so that way your order can be filled in before the fall semester starts, and then it can be implemented on the first day back,
So
or
wait,
even
sorry, can I use basically this, because that's one of the things I have to work out with. Can I still use the budget that was approved for this semester even though we're gonna be using, basically like, I wasn't sure if we had to cancel like the allocation of funds that was for this semester. Can I still use them but like save the stuff for next semester?
did your SL get introduced to this Senate
Mm-hmm.
for the allocation request?
Yeah, but it was supposed to be for this semester.
Oh, you might have to create a whole nother legislation to be introduced for the next term if you become a senator for the 2021 term.
Yeah, but I was hoping maybe I could like still order everything in time with but like save it at sustainability and like they can use it next semester if that was possible. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna continue working on this just to like fix everything. But that was one of the things because I want to still use the money since we still had money in the initiative fund from the semester. I didn't want to like take it away from the people who are going to be working on new initiatives next semester, and also it's a small amount in the end. But yeah,
It's a small amount, and the initiative pot is at 11,000. So don't feel inclined to use less than you need to.
Thank you so much. Okay, that's great. I'm gonna continue with that.
I can't speak on the next term. I'll be out. But
Stop! Why do you have to say that right now?
deuces.
No.
But y'all, this is a wonderful initiative, and I would love to see this come into fruition because it's a great thing, honestly. So, man up,
Yes,
keep
thank you
up the
so
good
much.
work, and I'm always here, even after graduation. I'm always here if you ever need any help on anything. So,
You're gonna regret that, but yes,
yeah,
thank you, and I appreciate all you've done for me this semester and with helping with this initiative because it really was you did a lot for me.
I didn't do anything. It was all on you. Thanks, Mena, though. You got this. Wonderful. Mena, you're amazing like always. Perfection. Nail Benet.
Okay, so my survey went out today. I sent like one mass email, and I'm probably going to check up throughout the week. I think I'm going to send another one on Wednesday, just in like Discords and things like that to get responses. We have one, but I'm going to be honest, that's more than I thought I was going to get because I know people are just like really busy right now. So the one like really like made me happy. And after that wraps up on the 23rd, I probably will like share the results also in a meeting just so y'all can see kind of like how this has played out because I know I keep talking about it, but y'all can't really see it happening, I guess. So I would like to share the results with y'all and just show you kind of like how it all happened and stuff. Oh, for the survey? Yes. Sorry, it's silent right now. I can't really multitask really well. Um, but yeah, that's what's happening so far. And then after that, I'll be pretty much done. So, and also thank you to Reese, Wendy, and Julius. They helped me a lot with like getting it together and like the wording and things. So thank y'all.
Wonderful. I love the collaborative effort within Senate too. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And Nail Benet, if you ever need any statistical analysis done, I got you. You find the level of kurtosis. Fun stuff, fun stuff. Patrick.
Hey, so this past week, I've been trying to reach out to Morgan State, and I'm still struggling. I can't really find any like contact information from their SGA. And I had been messaging their Instagram account, and that wasn't working either. So I'm gonna continue trying that, but I think gonna move on to a different initiative over these next like couple weeks before things close out. And actually, it's funny you mentioned this, Mati. Like, I was gonna bring this up tonight, like, and see kind of what the plausibility of the oh sorry of the College Town shuttle being expanded to UMBC. So I figure that's actually a pretty quick initiative that we can just see if that's feasible or not. I see Candace smiling because me and her have discussed this before. But it's definitely something that I would like to see like student support for, and at least try to kind of gauge student support before the semester ends, so that we can go into next semester with some numbers or something. If anyone wants to work on that later on next semester as well. But that's kind of where I'm thinking right now. Um, Other than that, ERCAT is live today. Go check it out. That's what I've been doing for the past 3 weeks, and why I haven't been doing anything at all other than typing and making a PowerPoint. So yes, have fun, and don't do ERCAT.
Oh, Patrick, I have to see your ERCAT now. I've done ERCAT twice, and after the second time, I'm like, okay, maybe I'm gonna calm down a bit.
It is without a doubt the most stressful thing I have been involved with because of the amount of work, which to be fair, I put myself in, but at the same time, I did not expect the pressure that it involves. It's insane.
It is. It honestly is. Please send the link, and I'll come and support. Rack those view numbers up for VoiceThread. Cool, cool, cool. Thanks, Patrick. Wendy.
Sorry, my camera's off. I've just been having a ton of Zoom fatigue, but
Wendy, your audio isn't coming through.
Is this working now?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So the JR for Divest MCE, it passed Finance Board. I presented that last Tuesday, and people seemed to like the amendments because they had a lot more information. And then I'm trying to find a list of campus partners that I can send the JR to just for like awareness initially. So right now I have Candace Dodgen Reed, Dr. Young, I3B, the Center for Democracy and Civic Life, Lisa Auction, Facilities Management, although I'm still figuring out who. And then I'll see if there's maybe like a way I can present it at Faculty Senate or just like send it out, though I know that's like a lengthier process. So I'll be sending the email out pretty soon. I was wondering if anyone had more suggestions for campus partners before I do.
I recommend sending it to Orion Smith. She is the chair for not only the faculty steering committee, but also the university steering committee. So for our next university steering committee meeting, can add that to their agenda, and we can discuss more thoroughly through there and gather their thoughts.
Okay, that sounds great. Anyone else have ideas before I hit send?
I mean, this is a suggestion. I don't know how plausible this is, but does the Shriver Center make sense in this scenario?
I hadn't thought about reaching out to the Shriver Center. I guess like the thing is, yeah, I'm still not entirely sure what the next steps would be just from the JR, like initially just awareness, but I will be sitting on the upcoming Inclusion Council meeting because there is a working group there called the Alignment of Economic Decisions and Values group, and that's going to be on Thursday the 29th. So hopefully that might give me a better sense of what people are working on from the like administrative side.
Have you also thought about sending it to the USM people? The acronym is escaping me. USM.
Yeah, I'm still looking for contact information. I'm working with Rahman Liaquat from Finance Board actually on trying to find people that we can send it to. He's been in contact with Salisbury's SGA president, so we were going to try to have them like issue like a similar statement from their SGA.
Perfect. Yeah, keep us updated on what they say or if you hear back from any of them.
I will, thanks. Hopefully finals season doesn't make it too hard to send out all those emails and get responses.
Oh, right. Final season's going to pick up soon. But amazing work. Proud of you. Z.
I just have some plans for promoting Together All. I was going to discuss with you and Wendy tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. We can definitely talk more about it on our one-on-ones tomorrow. Yeah, I was looking through the resources that they sent out, so we can figure out a way to communicate that to the student body. Gaia, do you have any updates for us? I just see stop. Okay. Cool. Wow, I'm very proud of you. Are you sure? Ah.
Yeah, I just came to like listening because I missed Senate meetings.
You're all the way in Oklahoma, I think.
Kentucky.
Kentucky, I'm sorry.
Close enough.
Same state. Regardless, I'm proud of y'all for accomplishing so much. You've done excellent, more than excellent, perfection, more than perfection. Ultimate, yes. Just know I am personally proud of you, and I can't speak for Candace or B, but I'm sure they are proud of y'all too. And I know things are starting to pick up with final season, as well as things are winding down to a close for the end of our term, which is coming up on May 10th. You have done a lot within the past couple of weeks. So good job, and very proud is what I'm trying to say. Next, I think is SGC updates. Are there any SGC updates? I know Mena, you mentioned something.
Yes, hi. So I worked with worked with. Oh my God. I went to the dining committee meeting and they do have a couple updates. One second, let me get my notes.
Yes. And if you happy to type those notes, could you send them to me as well?
Yes. There. Oh.
Oh, do you mind sending that one out?
Sorry, I might have cut it out. But yes, I handwritten them, but I can type them up and send them to you. Just
Thank you.
oops. Sorry, one second. It's nothing much, just a couple of updates, and one of the updates was about the Ramadan accommodations because the meeting was on Tuesday, and that was the first day of the Ramadan accommodations, and there were a couple things that weren't actually working by Tuesday because also it was also the first day, but they didn't have the date set out yet at that time, so that was one thing. But there has been a lot of great feedback from the Muslim students on campus about the Ramadan accommodations and what dining services has done for them. So that was amazing, and I want to share that with the dining committee members because they worked hard on that. And yeah, we had a great first day of that whole initiative, and I'm wondering to see when in a couple of weeks how it plays out for the remaining 3 weeks of Ramadan. Other updates included, so they discussed about final exam hours and how like basically which they have to close one of the options on campus. So it's either between Chick-fil-A or the student choice. And if anyone wants to put their update input in here, feel free. That is one of the things they were debating. And I did tell them that like students do have concerns about not concerns, but complaints about how they close a bit too early. Also, guys, feel free to share any of your complaints here too, and I will share them along. Um, but they kind of close a lot of the restaurants really early, and like sometimes on the last couple of weeks. And I know I always have finals on the very last day, so I'm always stuck on campus with a full meal plan, and it was only like dining, like D Hall open. And so I did share that with them, and they're trying to accommodate that and like make the hours last long enough that students are still like, getting everything. Wait, you're pushing, they're getting, you're saying that they should get rid of Chick-fil-A? Kai?
Their food is good, but their background isn't.
The background, oh, no, they meant for the week of like final hours, not for like in general. There would be an uproar. I'm so sorry, but I know that Chick-fil-A can be very controversial, but like the students here, they love Chick-fil-A, so I don't know about all that. But I guess for the final week, they were debating whether to keep Chick-fil-A open or student choice open, just for the last week of school. And they also, besides all of that, you said Chipotle. Okay. So I'm just reading what you guys are saying. Okay, Chick-fil-A, we got one person for Chick-fil-A for the milkshakes. Everyone else seems okay. All right. They also had the ghost. Sorry, I can't pronounce that word. Ghost kitchen thing going up where they just do mobile ordering, and they had some questions about whether students had any issues with mobile ordering on campus. So if anyone wants to give me any of that feedback, yeah, through Boost or just anything in general. They were wondering if they should make it like flex, like sorry, I was reading everything. But yeah, just mobile ordering things, and they have some new sustainability initiatives where they have an Earth Day dinner coming up on the 22nd. So in a couple of days, there's a compost bin in D Hall still remaining there even without the compost initiative. Um, there's going to be the ice cream sustainability, which is I told you guys about before with the cooking this grapes. And it actually was apparently like kind of popular, so that's kind of good. Where they cook like vegetable food waste in a way, not food waste, but the scrapes that they had left over. And what else? They had a fuel tube tabling event and a stock food waste day that they'll have coming up also in either this week or next week, basically all for Earth Day. And they have also updates on their virtual kitchen they also include a sustainability teaching video where they just teach students more sustainable meals. So that's also pretty cool that they're doing all that. And if you guys haven't already, there's also a focus group going on right now where they're hearing feedback from all types of students, including residential students, commuter students, students living in apartments versus dorms. And if you guys sign up, there's a $25 gift card that goes towards, sorry, not gift card, it's a Retriever dollars. So I think the focus group is taking place this week. If anyone is interested, let me know. I can send them the link. But that's pretty cool that they're giving a $25 Retriever dollars card. They just want to hear about dining services in general. And that's my updates.
Dope. Cool. How do you participate? Is this like in like a survey focus thing?
Yeah. So not survey, sorry. It's like I think it's like a group call. I think a Zoom or WebEx type of thing where you just do it for an hour. Like you sign up for web events. Let me put the link in the chat anyway. But I signed up for this week, so I'll let you guys know. I mean, I won $25 Retriever dollars, so. But yeah.
You could share that on through WebEx Teams or. Thanks, Meta. I believe. Are there any questions for Meta before we move on, or any input? If not, I believe Mati, do you have any updates?
Yes. The neighbor relations groups had a meeting this Monday. So the first thing we spoke about was how they're conducting the COVID tests on campus. I think they said around like 35,710 COVID tests have been conducted, and not only with students, but with students and some staff members who are approved to be on campus as well. And then they're thinking of like having 75% of next semester either be in person or hybrid. And then with hybrid, it's gonna be like in two groups where you have like one class in person, the other online, and then like they rotate students. Or with STEM sort of labs, either they have their lecture online, but they have their lab in person, and with labs they're coming like in groups, a small group, so it won't be too many people in class. And yes, it's like, or have some days they'll have like in-person lectures, or some days will be online. So that's the idea they're thinking for hybrid semester. Also, I was hoping that like UMBC could get students to have their vaccines for coming on campus, but it's not possible because like it's a public university, not private. So like they're not legally like issued to then they can't legally require students to have their vaccines and come on campus. If it was a private university, then maybe they could do that, but because it's state owned, they can't basically like insist that students have their vaccines. But hopefully like students are smart enough to have their vaccines for coming on campus next semester. So hopefully that's my hope. Yeah, and when next to Arditas is having an event in the fall. It's like a community event, September 26th. Gonna have like have musicians, have art galleries, kind of have like historical pictures of Arditas, street performers, balloon animals, like of kids events. Basically have face painting, kind of like a carnival event. The idea is to make it like an Arbutus community event, basically like having people come out and just like be together as a community. I appreciate the community. And things that they used to have and like I said, an art auction, but an art festival, but they wouldn't have it this year because of COVID. So this year, instead of them having an art festival, it will just be an art gallery. And then Okamoka had some really interesting updates. The first was that despite COVID and everything shutting down, they did have some increase in sales, which is good. And they have more people coming to Okamoka to get drinks. But a lot of the customers are actually outdoors. They're hoping to open for indoor sitting in the spring, but for the meantime, people are sitting in their outdoor patios. And they also did a pop-up with Amanda, someone who sells plants in Okamoka. So basically helping her business, as people are getting their coffee, they're getting their plants, and basically helping her business to grow. So which is kind of nice. Anybody who's looking for a job next fall, they're hiring. So you work at Okamoka. And then they have this online art gallery on their website where they do mental health awareness, basically just showcasing the importance of mental health awareness on the website. They're also introducing new drinks, a lot of things those vegan and vegetarian stuff, so that'll be good. And I think they said they have online events where they also highlight people for making a change in the community, our own local CNN heroes will be shown through Okamoka. And yeah, they're having a lot of gluten-free options now, a lot of plant-based alternatives for vegetarians, and they're trying a lot of new options. They're trying to get customers to actually try their new options that they have to get the new drinks to sell a lot more. Also, the one thing that's actually helped them throughout this COVID period a lot is that they received a lot of grants and loans to help them business. So that's something they're really grateful for. Yeah, so basically they're releasing the outdoor patio, like I said, and they hope to open for indoor in May, basically, and they want to have a COVID conscious event in the fall. So that's really nice. So people getting their coffee while learning about social distancing and safe. And then the last thing we talked about was the sustainable community process, basically working together to make the Kingsville abuse community have improvements in the community, not only rely on UMBC for community help, but doing things I guess they have a lot of old sidewalks in the abuse areas, so sidewalks, improving a lot of areas, getting rid of old stuff, and just making the environment, the community, look newer and brighter and livelier. So that's what they're working on, and one of their goal is to gain more funds and grants to help this. So and I think they said they're working on a pedestrian improvement at Salisbury, so that's one of the things they're working on right now. So hopefully by the time we come back in the fall, the Kaysville abuse community is going to be a whole different place because of the improvement that the community is doing and that UMBC is doing as well. And that's all I got.
Dope. Thanks, Mati. Do you mind typing this up and sending your notes to me, or yes, or actually might be easier if because our monthly report is due in 2 days. Within tomorrow, I'll send you the link to the monthly report, and if you could type up the your major important updates within there. Same with you, Mena. If that might be easier, but I can also type them up.
Oh, and also Kai, I decided to if you check my Senate initiative folder, I have a little folder called meeting notes. I'm also typing my notes there. So hopefully by end of tomorrow, this one should be there. If not, I'll just type it and send it to you.
Yeah, taking a picture and putting it up there is fine as well. Whatever is easier for you, I can work with it. Cool. Thanks, Mati. Are there any questions for Mati? Sylvie. Oh, okay. Thanks, Mati. Are there any other SGC updates? I know ACC, Academic Misconduct Committee, has been canceled for the past month now, which I hope is a good thing. Nobody's out here cheating or plagiarizing, so cool. Or nobody's getting either one. Yes. Cool. All right. I believe next are announcements. I have just a quick announcement. So B and I have been talking, this is all B's idea, but we've been talking about putting future letter to Senate, future letter to future senators. Words are hard, but yes, you get the idea. If you could do that with before May 10th, so that way the incoming term will receive these letters, can get them. Essentially, it's a letter on your experience as an SGA senator, as well as possible obstacles you had to overcome, or what you've learned, or what you hope to gain, what you've gained out of this experience, as well as maybe possible initiatives that have been unfinished, or you've laid out the groundwork and you hope something to see come out of it. Can be anything. Words of wisdom and encouragement. Thank you, B. Better vocab than me. Cool. All right. Are there any other announcements? That was the only one that I had. Yes, Candace.
I'd like to remind everyone that SGA elections started today. You can go to umbc.edu/student vote and vote in the elections if you are a current undergraduate student at UMBC's main campus. There is a vaccination information session happening on Friday at 3 o'clock. I am going to drop, I don't know, am I going to drop the link in the chat? I got to look at the 1,200 tabs I have open. Ooh, Reese getting their first dose. You getting that UMBC juice? You getting that Moderna or Pfizer? Pfizer.
And the Pfizer, yeah.
The Pfizer, it's fine. They're the same thing. Um, so that's happening at 3 o'clock. There's 2 staff from the health center coming, and then I am actually on the panel, as is Dr. Kate Dubinsky, who is Reese's favorite because her last name's it's really close to his. So that is happening. Today is the last day for any graduating SGA officers, either appointed or elected. If you have served at any point and are graduating this year, you can submit for a cord or a stole. So if you don't remember if you did that, I'm happy to look that up for you. You just let me know and I will let you know. And then what else? Trying to think. We all know when the end of the year celebration is. It was posted in WebEx Teams. You were there was a invitation put on your calendars by Zachary. So if you can check your calendar to see where that is, make sure you come. I'm dropping this. I think he put it as like April 31st. That's not a real date. On the flyer that he made is April 30th, I'm pretty sure.
30th.
April 30th.
PM.
Perfect. Great. 12 o'clock p.m. April 30th. Be there, be square. What cost $30? Oh, your SAL cord. Oh, you got to pay for court. You ain't got to pay for my stuff. I give it to you for free. Then there was something else I wanted to tell you about that was important. Oh, we're currently recruiting for, as Marshad said in the chat, not here, but on WebEx Teams, recruiting for people who are interested to be the UMBC nominee for student commissioner to MHEC, the Maryland Higher Education Commission. We've had someone serve in that role in the past, Jordan Troutman. He was an SJ senator. He's graduating this year. He served in that role 2 years ago, I think. So if you know somebody who would be interested in that, or you yourself want to learn more, I think Murshad sent out the job description. So it's unpaid, but it is, I think, some really great experience for people who are looking to learn more about like sort of like how systems work, right? And then there was something else I wanted to tell you. Oh, the FYAs are currently planning a stress-free night. Was my cat jumping in the background? Was that, were they? Or in your in my background, your background, somebody else's background? Oh, B's background. Hey, okay, that's George back there. Right, that's George up in there, the black one. Yeah. So then the FYAs are planning the stress-free zone COVID edition for Saturday, let me pull up the calendar. I believe it's May 8th. So if you're a residential student and you want to be supportive of your FYA, as you have been an FYA yourself and you remember what that was like planning, imagine planning it on WebEx. So that's what's up. That's at 7:30 under the tent behind like on the Commons Terrace. Also, if you want to see me, I will be on campus Friday and Saturday under the tent at 7:30 for the movie Free Food Truck, which I don't know what it is. I think one of them is Miss Twist for my on-campus peeps. And then bingo on Saturday. And I will be there for the next 2 weeks, Friday and Saturday. So yeah, no, just this week, not next week. Lies, be over there the next time. Those are my updates. All right, talk to
I have a slight announcement. I don't know if this was ever said or not, but did anybody know that the UMBC Event Center name is getting changed? I don't know if that was said or not. I might be tripping. Yeah, it's now called the Chesapeake Employers Insurance Arena. But I'm not trying to say all that. So apparently, or some people call it the Peak or whatever that means. So, or the CEI.
like short for Chesapeake.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what they were thinking of. It's disgusting. I guess we got a new sponsorship. This is what it seems like, because Chesapeake Employee Insurance is a company, something like that. I'm just gonna call it. I think I'm still calling it the event center, so we're gonna leave it at that.
Yeah, when I read that, my immediate reaction, involuntary reaction, is just ew. I was like, oh, and then I scrolled away. I was like, I don't want to look at that anymore. But cool. Thanks, Julius. Are there any other announcements? Wendy and I's one-on-ones are this week. So that's on your radar. And yeah, Georgia jumped again. Cool. Closing remarks. No more announcements. I'll adjourn the meeting at 7:37 p.m. and I'll stop recording.